Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'll walk you through setting up and using the Ultimate Member plugin for WordPress. If you've been looking for a way to add user profiles, registration, and membership features to your site, this plugin makes it super easy. So let's get into it. So the first thing you want to do, you want to head to your plugins and choose Add New. And here you can actually search for Ultimate Member. The core of the plugin is actually a free plugin on the WordPress repository. And here it is, Ultimate Member, User Profile, Registration, Login, Member Directory, Content Restriction, and Membership plugin. That's a mouthful, but it definitely does what it says. All right, so let's get ahead here. We're going to install, then activate. Now that it's activated, you'll notice at the top, you'll see an admin notice for setting up pages for Ultimate Member. I would actually recommend clicking the button for creating these pages. And now that they've been created, they've actually been mapped. And you can find this mapping under Ultimate Member Settings. And now that we're here, let's take a look at the front end. Let's see what exactly Ultimate Member did for us. So let's head on over to our front page. Let's take a look at, you can see here we have some new pages. For instance, account was brought to us by Ultimate Member. Here users can change their first name, last name. They can change their password. They can also set their privacy settings. So they could set their privacy to everyone or only me. They can avoid being indexed by search engines, hide their profile from the directory, which we'll get into shortly, show their last login data, and then we have some GDPR information here, so you can actually download your data and erase your data. If you're not familiar with GDPR policies, then you can also Google that. That was a big thing back in the day. And here you have an option to actually delete your account. All right, moving on, we have the logout page. However, we're currently logged in, so we're just going to ignore that. If we head over to the logout now, looks like it logged us out. So let's quickly log back in. So this gives us a chance to actually look at the login page. So let's go here. We're going to hit login, and I'm just going to enter my login credentials, and I'm back in. Okay, let's head back to the front page here. All right, so that's what logout does. You click on the link and you get logged out immediately. Now we know. Okay, so if we head over to the members, right now you're not seeing any members. We're going to fix that shortly. Then you have a page for resetting your password. That's mainly for persons that are currently logged out. Then register. Register is for logged out users as well. And we have user. Now user is actually your user profile. And by default, this is what it looks like. You have a cover image, you have a profile avatar section here, a profile photo. You can add an about, you can see a list of posts and comments. So to actually add a cover photo, you'd actually click here and choose upload a cover photo, and same for uploading a photo here. And here's your name. Now if you wanted to add more information, you would actually come over here, hit on the cog, click edit profile, or head to your account. So if I were to click edit profile, you'll notice here that we have an option for bio. So I can say welcome to my page, and I'm just going to click this little check mark above here, and here it is, welcome to my page. Now you'll notice that the profile is empty, so we need to add some fields to our profile, because as you can see here, when you click edit, there are actually no fields. So in the next step, we're going to head over to the admin. We're going to head down to Ultimate Member, and we're going to go to forms, and then we're going to go to default profile. Here's where we're actually going to add the different fields that are going to show up for our users to edit. So let's say, for instance, we wanted users to be able to enter their first name, last name. We can do that. And perhaps we wanted it to be a 2-column sort of layout, so we can do this instead. And we basically take this and drop it over here. Now let's take a look and see what that is actually going to look like. Yep, that's what it would look like. Perfect. So that's one way we can add our fields here. But for now, I want it to be a single column. So I'm gonna put this back like this, and let's just take a look at the different fields that we can add. So we do have a bunch of predefined fields, so let's go through that quickly. We have our username or email, first name, last name, nickname, website URL, registration date, email address, birth date, gender, country. Then you have different social network links that you can add. You can also set languages, phone number, and mobile number. Now, under setup new field, these are the custom fields that you can actually create. So you could basically curate your own fields for your project as needed. So let's say we wanted persons to be able to enter their work phone number. So let's go here. We're going to add this field called work phone number. Let's leave that as the title as well. Now for the meta key, this is what's going to be saved in the database. So I'm going to make this lowercase and have it called work number. And I can add an icon if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that now. So this looks good. The privacy, I don't mind everyone seeing this. I don't mind this either, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit add. So now that we have these three fields, let's go ahead and take a look at the front end and see what that looks like. Okay, so let's open up our page over here, head to user, and let's go over here, click edit profile, and here we can see we can add first name, last name, and work phone number. So let's add one. So I'm going to be John Doe for the day, and my number is going to be 444-555-8888. All right, so let's go ahead, hit update profile, and there we go. I can now see my information showing on my about page. That's pretty cool. Now let's head back over here and let's take a look at another form, the default registration form. So as the name suggests, this is the form that your guests are going to actually look at before getting an account through your Ultimate Member site. So here they can enter username, first name, last name, email, and password. So let's do this. Let's open this in an incognito window, and let's take a look at what the registration form looks like. So as you can see here, just as the admin has it, username, first name, last name, email address, password, and confirm password. Okay, now let's say we wanted to add the phone number that we just created. So here we have our work phone number, and I want this to appear just before the email, just after the email address. So let's go ahead and hit update there. Let's switch back over here, and here it is, work phone number. And just like that, we can now save the phone number during registration. Now let's take a look at the account page. This is what the account, well actually the login looks like, and the password reset. This is what the password reset looks like while you're logged out. Okay. All right, so let's head back to the admin now. All right, next up, let's take a look at our user roles. Here we have the user roles, and these are the default ones provided by WordPress. This is a fresh install. So with Ultimate Member, you can actually create your own user roles and actually modify their capabilities. So to do that, you choose add new. You can give it a new role. Let's say this role is going to be called a client. And I can choose whether I want to give this role access to the admin, if they're going to see the admin bar, and if they can edit other person's profiles or delete their profile. Basically just basically setting different capabilities for the user. Now, speaking of capabilities, if we scroll down here, these are the default WordPress capabilities. So for instance, if you wanted this user to be able to come to the admin and make certain modifications like activate plugins, edit plugins, install plugins, you'd basically come here and just select the ones that apply to this role. But for this user, I simply just want them to be able to just read. I don't need them to have too much access, so I'm not going to give them access to the admin, and I'm going to hide the admin bar. They're not going to be able to edit accounts or anything like that. So can they view other members' profiles? Yes, they can. Whose profile they can look at? They can look at everyone's. That's fine. They can make their profile private, but they cannot access private profiles. And do we want them to be indexed? Default, yes. And then we have options like when someone signs up with this role, do we want them to be auto approved, or do we want to be able to review them as an admin? For this one, we're going to leave it as auto approve and just redirect them to their profile. And then we have options for when they choose to log out. Where do we want them to go? We could send them to a custom URL, or we could send them to the home page. To the home page is fine. And also if they deleted their account, having them redirected to the home page is also fine. All right, so let's go ahead and create that role. And if we head over here, we can see our role, client. And if I were to go to users over here, add new, and I open the Ultimate Member role drop down, here I can see the client role. All right, so next let's head back to Ultimate Member. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk through the different settings available for Ultimate Member. Okay. Now, Ultimate Member has quite a bit of settings. It's not anything to overwhelm you, but we'll walk through them as much as possible. So the first one that we looked at before was the pages. These are basically the mapping for the Ultimate Member functionality. So you have your user page, login, register members, etc. Now you have options that you can do for your, you can configure for your users. So you can set your default role. Remember, we just created a role called client. I can actually set the client to be my default role. Now the profile permalink base, if you notice on the front end, it's basically using my username as the profile link. So here I can actually change it from username, and I can change it to user ID. Then it would just start showing like user/1, or we can do any of the other options available here. Now we have our user display name. See, most of these settings are not necessarily self-explanatory, but they do come with some description to them, so you can actually understand more about what they do. Okay, so if we head over to account, here you can actually take a look at the different options here. So if you remember over here, if we were to go to, let's do it from here, we're going to head to my account. These are your tabs. Keep those in mind. So if we head to the settings here, we can actually disable some of those tabs. That way we can actually curate what persons see on the front end. So if we don't want them to be able to see the delete tab and have them maybe reach out if they want their account deleted, we could actually toggle that off. The same for privacy, the password change, etc. So that is the account settings. Now for the uploads, let's take a look. Here we can actually set different sizes that we would like person's profile photo to be generated as. So by default, when someone uploads their profile photo, so if we head back over here and here, when they're clicking upload a photo, that photo basically is there are thumbnails that are generated, and those sizes are 40, 80, and 190 pixels, but you can always add more sizes if you prefer. And it's the same thing for the cover photo as well. You can add different sizes as well, just so you can adjust according to how your profile is going to look at the end of the day. Now, looking at access, here you can actually set the profile, the different settings that you'd like set for your site. So you can actually choose if you want your site to be globally accessible to everyone, or you could just set it to only logged in users as well. So that's just a global setting that you can set across. And then if you look through, you can see that you have other options as well. All right. Now here we have the other tab under access. Now here we can determine how we want persons to be able to reset their password. So we can actually set a limit to how much times they can actually reset their password, which is pretty cool. That's not something you typically see with WordPress out of the box. So this sort of addition is a great add-on. Now, if we head over to emails, the way emails work is that you have different types of emails that can be sent out from Ultimate Member. And here is how you can manage the template for each of those emails. So when someone registers to the account, they can actually receive a welcome email, and this is what it can look like. So here you can see it's using this little placeholder, this little template. So it says welcome to the site name, and here's what the email would look like. Yep, pretty cool. And then so you have a few others as well. You have account deleted email, password reset, password change, account updated, new user notification, all cool stuff. All right, so let's head over here to appearance. Under appearance, you can actually set different templates, but these would be provided by like third party, where new templates will be added in, or if you have a template inside of your theme, then you'd be able to actually select from here. So for now, out of the box, don't expect to see anything in the drop down. The profile maximum width, if you notice, we have a certain width on our profile over here. Now, if you wanted to increase that, you could actually increase your profile area and profile maximum width to match what you're looking for exactly. Then you have options for how you want your profile to look. So for instance, if you did not want persons to upload a profile photo, or you don't want them to upload a cover photo, from this area you can actually disable that. And the same thing goes for if you want the name to display on the profile as well as the description. If you remember earlier, we added our bio here, so we have a setting that we can use to actually turn that off. Okay. Now, if we head over to profile menu, here's where you can actually modify the actual menu items here shown on the profile. So for instance, if we did not want to have posts and comments, I can actually come here and I can disable post and I can disable comments. I want my default tab to be about, more so because we don't have anything else to display, so it has to be about. And I'm going to go ahead and hit save and refresh, and here we go. No more profile tabs because there was only one, and now all we're getting is just the first name, last name, and the work phone number from our about tab. So moving on, we can make changes about our registration form. We can change the width that we want for it, and again, if you have like custom templates available for your registration form, you can actually change it there. You can change the text, which is pretty useful. You can change the text displayed. So if your site was in a different language, or if you wanted to say something different, like other than register, let's say you wanted to use the word sign up, exclamation mark, you can actually do that. So that's how you change the buttons and fields there for your registration form. And the login form is going to be somewhat similar as well. Here you can set the width. You can set the position of it if you want it to be centered, left aligned, or right aligned. And if you wanted to modify the buttons on the login form as well, you can always change it here. You can always change the button at the bottom that actually says register. You can change that to sign up, whatever you prefer. Okay, now those are pretty much your basic settings. Then you have more advanced settings on this side over here, where basically you can add asterisks to your profile fields, but we don't need to get into any of the advanced stuff for what we're doing today. So next up, we're going to get into member directories, and we're going to add some dummy users so you can see what a full member directory is going to look like. So I'll see you in the next one. Okay, so now we're going to actually add some members to our member directory, because if you take a look at our current site, we only have one user here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to plugins, and let's look for something like dummy users, something that's going to generate some users for us. WP dummy content generator, that should do it. So let's go ahead and install that. Okay, so let's go over here, click generate users, and for us we want to generate let's go with 80. Let's generate 80 users. All right, okay, now we have 80 users. Let's take a look. They're all here. Perfect. So let's take a look at the front end. Let's see if we have our users yet. So they're not showing in our members. So what I would do is that I would head to the dashboard and I will clear the cache of 81 users. And let's take a look again. Let's see if we have them now. Nothing there. So let's go to our member directory. Let's see our roles to display. All right, our roles to display, they are unselected, which means that they're all allowed. So I don't think that's the reason why we're not seeing any users. So let's take a quick look at these users. They're all approved. So let's head back to Ultimate Member Dashboard. I'm going to clear user status cache. Let's see if that solves it for us. Nothing yet. Let's just hit update. Let's get a refresh on that. There we go. So it looks like we needed to save our member directory. Don't know why. Well, we'll look into that later. So right now you can see your member directory showing you the grid view, but there's also another type that you can use, which is the list. So if I were to enable list and head back over here, you can see we now have an option to toggle between list and grid view. Now let's say you only wanted the list view. What you would do is you turn off this one, hit update, and here you have your list as your default view. Now let's go through, I'm going to set this back to grid, and let's go through the different member directory settings that we can set. So we already discussed the view types, default view type. Now, if you wanted your member directory to be very specific to a particular role, or if you wanted to exclude a particular role, what you can do is basically adjust it from here. So if I wanted only subscribers and only clients to appear here, basically take myself as the administrator out of the list, this is what I would actually do. Now, if I wanted my member directory to only show persons that have a uploaded profile photo, this is the toggle to do so. And the same if you only wanted persons with a cover photo. Now, there's also an option of setting a curated list of users. If you wanted to create a directory of just a specific set of users, let's say they're from different roles, but you know exactly what their usernames are, and you wanted to basically enter them, you can actually just enter them like that. So it's basically one username per line. Or if you wanted to do something different where you don't want to exclude via role, but you wanted to exclude via username. So my username for my admin account is admin, so I would actually add it here, and that would actually exclude me from the list. Now you have ways of sorting your users. You can sort by display name first, last and first, last login, new users first, nickname, oldest users, random username. You can also do like a custom field where you actually set the custom field meta key. So that's the key that's used in the database. So if you know what that is, you can actually sort by that. So that's pretty cool as well. So for now, I'm just going to put it back to new users first. And this is the visual portion of the members directory. If we wanted to, let's say, not display the profile photo, so let's head back to members. And if we wanted to turn off the profile photo from being displayed and have it just list the user's name going down, we can do that. Another thing that we can do is we can actually add information related to the user's profile data. So for instance, let's see, let's clean this up. Let's say we wanted to add, what was that field we created? It was the phone number, the work phone number. Here it is. So let's say we wanted to add biography and we wanted to add work phone number to display on the members list. Let's take a look. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's make this a little simpler for us because my account definitely has that information. So let's set it to list. Let's only look for administrators. Let's see what we have. And here we go. I have the administrator. Okay, let's take a look at choose fields to display in user information section. I'm not seeing the phone number, so we'll have to take a look at that and figure out why the phone number is not showing. Let's see. Do I have my phone number set? I do. Okay. We may need to take a look at that. So if we move on just for a second, we have search options. So with search options, you can actually enable a search at the top. So let's turn this back off and let's set it back to grid. I do love the grid layout. So here we can enable the search feature, and we can actually add fields that we want to search by. So let's say we wanted persons to be able to search by first name. We wanted them to search by last name. Let's go ahead and hit update, and when we refresh this page, we'll see here that we have this little search field here. Now if we wanted to add filters, we can do it here, and we're going to add a field for searching via, where is it, first name and last name. Now I'm going to hit save and show you what the filters are going to look like. Here we go. So now I can actually open this and I can search for, let's say I wanted Anna Marie, right? Pretty sure I spelled her name wrong. Anna Marie. There we go. Anna Marie Harvey, just like that. So that's how the search feature works. And then you have your pagination. So if I were to remove this and scroll to the bottom, you see here the pagination. I can actually choose how many I want to show per page. So I can change this from 12 and I can make it 20, 80, or I can make it lower. and by making it lower, then we'll have more pages to paginate through to see more users. And so we have this for the desktop, and then we also have the number for mobile and tablet as well. So this is member directories. Next up, we're going to look at extensions. If you're looking to extend your Ultimate Member website with even more features, one thing you can do is add more extensions. Ultimate Member has a bunch of extensions that they create for their plugin. So for instance, if you wanted to add a forum, you can add the BBPress extension. That's an extension for Ultimate Member and BBPress. You can add verified users. That's a pretty common thing that you see on x.com and Facebook, as well as Instagram. And similarly, friends and followers, that's like a feature that Facebook and x.com also use as well. And we have private messages, so persons can send private messages to each other. Social activity, this is basically an activity wall where persons can post on the wall and see different activity, basically an activity stream. There's user tags, user reviews, private content, groups, which basically allows persons to create groups and basically have different topics within that group. Then you have user photos, where persons can upload photos to their profile, basically creating a gallery. We have user notes. User notes is a little scribe that allows persons to add notes to their profile. And profile tabs, this is a way for admins to create custom tabs and add them to users' profiles. However, if you're looking for even more add-ons for your Ultimate Member site, there's always third-party plugins as well. So one quick Google search, you can do Ultimate Member add-ons, and so the first thing you're going to see, the extensions by the persons behind Ultimate Member. And if you're interested, you can actually get everything in a bundle. So here you can see you can get the standard bundle with 21 standard extensions, and then you have the Pro bundle with even more extensions with the Stripe and Zapier integration, which are pretty cool. Other options are Suite plugins. That's something that I've actually participated in developing as well. So here there's a bunch of different options. There's a Docs for Ultimate Member. That's a document directory for your profiles. So a document repository. There's a photo and video gallery for Ultimate Member. I'll definitely do a video on that. There's a lot of feature there. There's also Events Pro for Ultimate Member for adding events and custom profile tabs, which is similar to the profile tabs functionality by Ultimate Member. And if we head over to the other page, you'll see faceted search. This is actually one of my favorites. It provides like a sort of filter search feature for Ultimate Member. And we have Learn Dash add-ons, celebrations. Celebrations is like for showing upcoming birthdays and stuff like that. That's a pretty cool one as well. If you're looking for an add-on for gravity forms or classifieds to your website. And now if you take a look at the bundle, it's similar to Ultimate Member, except there's only one bundle and it's a lifetime for $99. So if anyone's interested, you can always leave a comment or just let me know, and I'll be able to like send you like a referral code or anything like that if you're interested. So that's it. This is just a quick tutorial on how to set up the basics of Ultimate Member. In another tutorial, I'm going to go more advanced and basically extend more features and add more layouts to Ultimate Member. I'll see you in the next one.